Good morning. Good Shabbos. Chag Sukkot Sameach, or um, moadim l'simcha, because we're in the chol hamoed, in between the Yontif, the beginning of Sukkot, and the end with Shmini Atzeret and Simchas Torah. This is called Zman Simchatenu, the time of our joy. And I got a little dressed up today with a necklace and colors because I'm really feeling the joy. This is 2025, and this morning the Knesset approved a ceasefire, and which was the condition for Hamas to return the hostages. And it looks like it's going to be a joyful Simchas Torah. 2 years ago, the Simchas Torah was trampled, was chosen to be the day of sorrow, was chosen by the perpetrators of that violence. And I'm just praying and hoping that everything goes through and without a hitch. I know the IDF, the Israeli army, has been pulling back. They were very, very eager for this ceasefire to go into effect. They did not want to remain in Gaza for any longer. They just don't. So they're exhausted, and they don't want to see this continue. So they are eager, and they are already pulling back um, with the Knesset's approval. And yeah, President Trump is planning to go there to sign the ceasefire, whatever the agreement is. I think on Sunday he's flying over, or something like that. Anyway, that's why I'm all excited, because I have been praying every day for these hostages, and getting to know these remaining hostages, getting to know them by name, them and their mothers' names, and identifying two twins with the same mother's name, and two brothers with the same mother's name and same last name, and all the individuals, and they're real people, and they have real families. And what a what a hell they've been through, what a hell the people in Gaza have been through, the Palestinian civilians have been through. So, celebration. People are returning home to find their homes in Gaza, even if they're their own stones. But, uh, change may be on its way. So, with that in mind, let's cultivate joy in our practice. Um, and gratitude. Gratitude is really the key to joy. So, when we go into our silent meditation and we're focusing on our breathing, and we get distracted, maybe we can find a way to turn whatever the distraction is into to see the gratitude somewhere. There's always a place to find some gratitude, and this is when helping others is so important, because some people say when disaster happens, look for the helpers and focus on them, because human life is not always a bowl of cherries, but we can help each other get through the hard times. And that's the beauty, that's the compassion that we're capable of in this life for each other in our hard times, and also to share in the joy. So, with that in mind, I'm gonna ring the bell and set the timer for 30 minutes. And I hope you have a joyous meditation. One technique you can use, this is from Thich Nhat Hanh, who really had a very hard life living in exile, from Vietnam, and was so dedicated to trying to end that war. And he said, you can, breathing in, I smile, breathing out, joy, or breathing in, joy, breathing out, smile. You can smile on the way in, smile on the way out, but you think about the smile and you cultivate. I think he does it on the exhale, breathing in, gratitude, and breathing out, I smile. Something like that. Breathing in, thank you. Breathing out, I smile. And the first thing we say in the morning is, thank you, God, for returning my soul to me, moda'ani lefanecha. And all the morning blessings just for being alive, living and breathing, the living, breathing you, living and breathing. Do that one more time with the sound corrected. Welcome back. That was an interesting journey for me during the silence. So eventually I started playing around with the phrase, the greeting that we use for this time, a kind of half holiday, chol hamoed, the time between the total chag, where a lot of restrictions, and the time during the week. We have this during Passover, which is a week-long holiday, and also Sukkot, which is a week-long holiday. So the in-between days are kind of half holidays. You're still within the framework of the joy, and you don't really focus that much on your ordinary work, but you can drive, you can shop, you can do a lot of the things that you need to do, especially to help enjoy the holiday. Go visit people, that kind of thing. So the phrases we use are moadim l'simcha, which means it's times of joy, and chagim uzmanim l'sason. So festivals, chagim, festivals, uzmanim, and times, special times, l'sason. Sason is kind of over-the-top joy. If simcha is more like inner joy, sason is like really, really immersed in bubbly joy. Bubbly, I like that. Bubbly joy, overflowing joy, the sason. So I played with the moadim l'simcha and the in-breath, and the chagim uzmanim, moadim l'simcha on the in-breath, and chagim uzmanim l'sason. And then as I got more quiet, I just went to simcha on the in-breath and sason on the out-breath, which was nice, worked nicely to calm me more down more. And then I kind of felt like I was inside a cistern of joy and just breathing in and out and being surrounded by the air of joy. So a cistern is something that's hollowed out in the earth, or it can be above the earth. It could be a container to hold water. And when it's empty, it's still this amazing container. And there's a composer, Pauline Oliveros, who is a trombonist, and she took her trombone and some other musicians into a cistern. I think it was an underground cistern, and the walls are round because it's holding water. It's supposed to hold water, so it's not a square that would leak more. So the round, smooth, round surface is good for holding water, like a bottle. And so the sounds would just resonate around and around. This is a very beautiful recording if you come across it. Pauline Oliveros, Oliveros. Anyway, so I felt like I was in this cistern like the one in that recording, only I was just surrounded by the echoes of my own focus of simcha, sason, simcha, sason. And it was just this beautiful container. So I wish you all moadim l'simcha, a time of joy, a special time of joy, and times of joy, and the response, chagim uzmanim l'sason, festivals and special times of overflowing joy. I don't know what the English word would be. Ecstasy, maybe. Not the drug ecstasy, just real ecstasy. Unfettered joy. Shabbat Shalom. Chag Sukkot Sameach. And may we see the answers to our prayers as the ceasefire continues, peace continues in Gaza, and the hostages, the living hostages, and the bodies of the remains that they still have are all coming home. Amen. May it be so.